Business cards and brochures can be a great business booster for a small firm, and our guest today says you can have a professional look without the cost of a professional designer. Andrew Field founded printingforless.com and quickly made it one of the nation's fastest growing companies. His leadership has been recognized with numerous business awards, including the winning Workplace's Best Boss Award and a Stevie Award, along with recognition as one of the best of the web. Welcome, Andrew. Welcome to SBTV.com.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start off and talk about business brochures, because everybody likes to have a brochure that they can leave behind. What are some of the best practices when you're considering designing a brochure?
Well, among the things that you can do is, if you want something that's highly customized and really matches the look and feel of the brochure to your business and to your message, is to hire a professional graphic designer. They're well worth the money. If you can't afford to do that, you can go to something like stocklayouts.com, and we have links off our website to them, where you have professionally designed brochures that you can substitute your own pictures in and out. They also have some stock photography already there, which is some very nice high-quality photography. A third option is to use the templates that come free in a product like Microsoft Word or Publisher, where once again you can put your own copy in and then you can substitute in your own pictures for your brochure.
Speaking of pictures, you mentioned stock photography. Is that expensive, or can you just go out on the web and just pull anything and use it in your brochure?
You can't just pull anything and use it in your brochure. Most images on the web are at 72 dots per inch, which is how we measure resolution, and that looks fine on the web. It looks terrible when printed. So we recommend people use high resolution photography or buy stock images, and they're really not very expensive. They're sometimes as low as $50 for a whole disc full of them, and sometimes as high as $200 or $300 for one very high quality image.
And once you buy that stock photography, can you use it more than once in more than one location? Like if I'm going to do a brochure and maybe a postcard mailer?
It depends on the licensing associated with that, but often people do use the same images over and over again. The very important thing to remember, though, on brochures, particularly on that front panel, is to try to use one or two larger images rather than a whole lot of little ones. Studies have shown that one big image lends realism and sort of a professional look compared to a lot of little images.
Let's go back now to some basics, because everybody who's in business needs a business card. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I would.
What are the simple things that you need to make sure are on your business card?
Believe it or not, we've printed people's business cards when they forgot to send their email address or their website address or their phone number, and you never know whether they're a virtual business or exactly how they're doing that. And the most important thing is to remember, don't try to jam too much on. Business card's not a lot of real estate. It's 3.5 inches by 2 inches, and if you try to put too much on, you'll end up going to a little tiny font that most of us can't read anymore. So you want to stick with the basics. If you do have a little extra that you want to add, like a tagline or a little elevator pitch for your business, flip it over and use the back. It doesn't cost much more to print on the back of your business card.
What do you think about using photos on a business card? Because I see a lot of people, when I'm out at events, they hand me their business card and their photo is right there.
I think depending on the business, it's very good or it's not. Mortgage lenders and realtors are very heavy users of their image because it's very much of a relationship business. Others tend to be a little more conservative, like bankers and lawyers and that sort of thing. I think the most important thing is to use lots of color, and whether that's a bright background or some sort of border or something like that, I think some good use of color will help your business cards stand out from the others when people have a pile of them after a long business trip.
What about paper? There's such a variety of papers that you can choose from today. Is there a best practices when it comes to selecting the paper?
Absolutely. Our joke is, if it doesn't feel like a shingle, go with a heavier paper. I think the feel is a very important part of handing out a business card. Otherwise, it would all just be electronic. And a nice, thick, heavy stock, whether glossy and coated or uncoated, is a very important part of a good business card.
I know that you've been in this business and been very successful for a long time. If people really need assistance in designing this work and their business card or their brochure, are there some, and you mentioned a couple, but there are other resources they can go to?
One of the things they could do is call us, and we would actually put you in touch, if you'd like, with some designers in your area who are customers of ours. It's one of the services we provide, is you give us your zip code, and we'll look for designers and graphic artists in your area if you want someone that you can work with one-on-one. Another thing people can do is go to creativepro.com, which has lots of advice on how to do good design work, how to build good brochures, how to use digital photography and that sort of thing.
And when you're working with someone like that, can you ask for like a flat fee, or is it by the hour, or can you negotiate that?
Everything is negotiable when it comes to design work.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate all your good advice and inside tips.
Thank you, Susan.
And of course, we're talking to Andrew Field, the president and CEO of printingforless.com. We appreciate him being here. And of course, there are other segments with practical tips and advice from Andrew right here on sbtv.com. You can learn more about his company by going to printingforless.com. I'm Susan Wilson-Solovic, and you're watching sbtv.com, where small business is our only business.